And we're live.
Yay!
Yay! Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Mumfreedompreneurs Hangout. I am Valerie Jampolsky. I am the Abundance Mumfreedompreneur from Abundance Now. And today our topic is we're going to be discussing our secrets in how we, get into the groove for school for our kids. And you're going to hear from some of us. It's going to be very different because we do things differently because we have choice. First, I'm going to go across the panel here and introduce ourselves one by one, and then we'll get into the topic. I am a single mom. I've got twin 5-year-old boys. I'm going to give my usual naked kid alert. My kids tend to love to strip naked when they're at home. But I've got the situation controlled here. In case I'm going to come running by, and I do this so I can I do the business that I do, and I'm not mompreneur so that I can be home with my kids. I do it so I can be home with my kids. And I used to be an entertainment attorney, and I was sitting there in my office, pregnant to the gills with my twins, and I had made a powerful decision that I basically realized that if I didn't do something, if I didn't find another way, I was hardly ever going to see my kids. I'd be lucky if I could tuck them in at night. Never mind daycare, they would have been raised by nannies. Seriously, they've been really, really bad. And I, basically did whatever it took, moved heaven and earth, learned new skills and all that so I could do what I do now. And I have the freedom to be able to do hangouts like this, talk about things that I love, do the things that I love, make the choices that I have, which I'm going to talk about some of them today. Just saying, I'm very excited. I'm here today here in Los Angeles, and tomorrow night we are headed to Bali. I'm going to be able to take my kids to do for me to go to Incredible Mastermind, take my kids to something for them, Unstoppable Kids, which is a really cool thing, and I just feel so blessed that because of what I do, I have the ability to do things like that for me and for my kids, and we're going to have a great adventures. So things that they don't even know yet that we're going to be doing. That's going to be really, really cool. So I'm going to now go and also I love just the other thing too is for me it's all about really being able to help people to really see the power and beauty that they have within themselves. And for me that's by understanding abundance, law of attraction, meditation, all those things that are my passions. All those things that are my passions, and being able to do what I love. And some days I take the kids to Disneyland because I feel like it. That's also part of my schooling process. I have freedom. I have serious freedom. But I'll get into that in a sec. And everybody, it's different. Everybody has different choices in how they do it. That's how I'm choosing it because that's the way that I like to live. So I'm going to pass it on down now over to, I'm going to go across the panel. I'll come back to you if you came on last, Agnes. I'm going to go over to CJ first.
Hey everyone, as many of you may know, I'm CJ and I live in Florida with my 3 boys. I have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old, and up until this school year they were in public school, and now we will be homeschooling. So actually today I go and fill out the paperwork to withdraw them from the public school system. But I was a mother that was not supposed to have children. I had lost 2 babies, and then I was diagnosed that I could not conceive or carry children. I did not take no for an answer. I did not stop, and I am now blessed with 3 boys. Therefore, I promised them that I would give them the life that they deserve, the family values, and the memories that they, as a child, should have. And I have become a stay-at-home mom to deliver that value to them and to be there for them when they need their mom and as they need their mom, and not put them in daycare, not put them in before and after school care, and just not be with them basically, but to be with them and to make the memories and to explore and laugh and giggle and just be a mom. That's the best gift in the world, and to just not be able to pass that up and to be able to have that gift forever for me is priceless. And that's why I chose the stay-at-home mom lifestyle.
And we have with us, and she's back. It's been a while, but I'm so happy you're back. Fizza! Tell everybody where you are and what time it is for you.
Hello, my dear friends. At last, after so long, I'm back now. It's around 1:15 a.m. and I am from Perth, Australia. It's very late, but no, I'm very excited to join you all back just to share my ideas and because the topic is very interesting. I am mother of 9 years old, and she started going to public school, and before that I was doing her homeschooling. But I thought that I just have to give her the school environment so she will gain some confidence by interacting with the children. So, yes, she started her public school this year and she's very happy. Let's see, but let's see, let her enjoy and let's see because and being a stay-home mom, I am just enjoying life with her because when I was working, it's very hard for me to give her time, and she was full-time duty for me, and I just send her to the homeschooling groups, and well, sometimes my husband pick her up, and she really missed me because I was working, and these days now whenever there is a meeting or anything, so I'm there for her, and that's because of that she is gaining a great confidence.
That's great.
So yes.
Yay, and I'm so happy here. We'll dig deeper into all of this for each of us in a sec, but I'm so happy that you're here with us. And then you up and you stayed up late early, got up early, stayed up late, whatever it was to get here.
No, it's a great honor for me because I'm missing all of you very much, but due to some of my personal reasons I couldn't make it. But no, I decided no, I have to attend this hangout today. Yes. So I just had a sleep for a while, then I woke up and I said no. Before I woke up and I was like, oh, I still have some time to fresh myself and then participate in that. And here I am with you all.
I'm going to now go over to Joan. Joan, say hi. You are up.
Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Joan and I am a mother of 3 boys. 6, oh yeah, he's now 6, 3 and 1.5. And my 1.5-year-old just figured out how to pull his diaper off and everything. So yeah, that naked kid alert thing. Totally. But yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and you know, I just love to be able to be here for them, like CJ and all the other moms have said, and to just have the freedom to go out on adventures or go out discovering whenever they want to go out. You know, just to be with them and just have that freedom to be there for them and to just witness, you know, their childhood and to be there to teach them along the way and to hold their hand along the way. And you know, it's just great, and I love it. You know, like giggling and laughing, and even when they fall and or when they learn how to ride a bike, or when they learn and discover new things, it's like I love seeing that aha moment for them. And it's so, I'm like addicted to that because I love seeing that in their eyes and their smile. So so yeah, it's just been it's great to be there for them and to be there with them and not have to worry about them in the daycare or with the nanny, and you know that you are just pouring your love towards them and serving them. So I love that aspect. So back to you, Val.
Thanks. And last, I'm going to bring up Agnes. Yay. Does everybody know where you are as well?
Yeah, did I? Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Agnes, and I live here in Hollywood, Florida, very close to CJ. And I have a 3-year-old boy. And since the subject came up yesterday, you know, I was keep thinking about this subject, and actually we have discussion on and off with my husband. And it's made me so emotional. Don't ask me why, but I came from Europe, so I grew up in Hungary. I am Hungarian. And the system, the social system there is like the government pays to the family, and the mother is able to stay home with the children for 3 years. So my mom was staying home with us because I have an older brother for 5.5 years. So that's how I grew up. And here it's absolutely the opposite thing, opposite system. And um, the main purpose, and I can agree with Valerie big time, because I would love to homeschool my son. This is my main goal, you know, be very successful and just have the freedom for him to stay home with me. Now he has a very privileged situation because I have a job, like part-time job. I picked up now then my day off. It's on Monday because I want to be here on this panel. This is so important for me. And he goes to a Hungarian daycare, and for a couple of hours in the morning when I am working, and he learns a lot. But unfortunately, because I'm teaching him, the primary language for him is Hungarian, because our language is very, very complex. So if he doesn't learn that completely to the perfection, he will never learn it, and he will lose it. I see that around us, around our family, how the children are going to the school system, they losing their native, the primary language. So unfortunately, this is the one reason my son has to go to the daycare to continue when he reaches the age 4 to learn the English language also. But I hope this is going to be only temporary, and I will be able to continue his education at home. So this is my main goal, and because he's the love of my life, like for all of us, you know, our children is our sunshine, and I would do anything for him, and this is the most important. And it was very interesting. I don't know, my husband called me before the hangout, that's why I was late a little bit, and he didn't even know what is the subject here, and somehow he brought up the subject on his meeting. One of his co-workers just told him then he's homeschooling, or they homeschooling his children, and my husband is so excited about this subject, and he really on the board, and because we want to let him be free, you know, and the school system is cutting their wings, and it's like everybody is they try to, how can I say that, it's so hard for me. So the school system, everybody is the same subject, the same system, the same uniform, everything is the same. And my son is absolutely not the same. He is very unique. He is very beautiful inside and out. He has such a gentle soul, and God gave me this beautiful soul, and I have to cherish it. And this is my main purpose in my life.
I love it, Agnes. That's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. And that's the thing, is that all our kids are unique. We're all unique, and you know, the school system. I mean, it really was created. I mean, we want to get historical about it, but you know, a lot of it was created in places you know, where it was first. I mean, a lot of it, the history, at least in the way it is in the States, is based on what was happening in Europe, and it was the factory systems where, you know, they created schools so that the parents could work in the factories, and yes, you know, they were training the kids to be future factory workers. Just saying, guys, just saying. So, you know, talk about conformity. So, you know, and the wealthy, they all had their own, basically, in essence, homeschooling, you know, in the ways teaching them, the kids, for what they wanted them to learn. So I'm gonna get more into I'm sensitive to time, and I know Joan has to go quick, so I'm gonna pull over to Joan first so that she can talk about, for her, what she's, you know, her perspective on all of this, so that you can get a chance, because I know you have to hop soon.
Sure. Thanks, Val. And I'm again, I forgot to say that I'm really grateful to be here on this hangout. I love Monday mornings are just so awesome because I love hanging out with you ladies. And this topic is one that's near and dear to me because we do homeschool. And and I guess the topic is how to get into the groove of everything after, the summer. And my thing is, we've been doing it for a couple years, and there's one year that I was very like, okay, we have to follow what our curriculum says by the day to the T. And then as we've got through the school year, I'm not so concerned with what day I'm on and not exactly to the T, but just kind of, if you just have I guess like if you kind of just can go through it, if you are homeschooling and if you do have a curriculum, not to be so strict about the day-to-day tasks, but kind of let your kids lead you to what they want to do. Sometimes we'll go out for a walk, or we'll be in the pool, and I'll just let them go on a nature walk for as long as they want, and then they'll discover new things, or just go and play with friends, and kind of just have them lead their learning in a way so that they'll be so engaged in it that they don't want to stop. I think with the school system is that they kind of just push things down their throat, and then sooner or later they don't want to learn anymore. But I think to just keep them engaged in what they want to learn, then they'll want to learn and absorb what you have. So and for me, kind of getting back in the groove of it, that's how I think, just let them kind of lead you. Let them say, hey, I want to learn about science, and then prepare some intro to science kind of thing, or hey, I want to learn how to read. Okay, well, we'll get some books, or we'll go to the library. So that's what I love about the freedom, that they can kind of choose what they want to do. And then my son, I think it was last year, he was 5, and he wanted to learn geography. Well, you don't learn here in the States. You don't learn about geography until you're like 6th grade. So that's something that you can add to the curriculum when you're homeschooling. You can, if you find a topic that they like, then you can quickly integrate that into your day. So that's why I love the freedom is, and that they can really create things themselves too. And then as a parent, if they see you learning, I think you read a lot of books and you listen to a lot of audios, and when they see you learning, they love to learn too. So I think that whole circle of, they see you doing something, they'll want to kind of follow you too. Like if you read a ton of books, then they'll probably want to learn about that too. Or if you're trying something new, they're like, oh, I want to try something new too. So yeah, I kind of let them lead. I do that first, I see a lot of people on Facebook now are posting their first day of school pictures, and, people are getting nervous about, oh, if it's the first day of school or whatever. Well, you can also create that too with your homeschool. Make a big deal about your first day of school. So, and then go from there. And then that's pretty much all I'd say, is kind of like let your kids lead you to what they want to learn, and then integrate what they're interested in until they're kind of done with it, and then move on to the next thing. So yeah, and then I guess there's a ton of curriculums out there. So just kind of check everything out.
Where do you get yours? Where do you get your curriculum from?
I believe I went to usually big cities have their homeschool conferences, and then I got my curriculum from ABECA, and then I use another one called Mother of Divine Grace, and so I kind of mashed those together. And you can Google a bunch of homeschool curriculums, or and just check all the curriculums out, and there's just a ton of things out there. You can also reach out to your local homeschool groups, and then they usually have some meetups and some play groups and as well. So I hope that helps. That was kind of a blanket thing right there. So
that's great. That's great. Yeah, and maybe post some of the resources, whatever, down below in the chat, maybe.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Is post some of that information that you just shared in the chat for us. The groups, the links that you use.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's so cool. That's so cool, because I am just about to start this process with my boys. I mean, I've been using ABC Mouse for just a little for something that they could do on their own schedule, just as preschool and stuff like that. But so yeah, for me, they're starting. There's a thing called Connections Academy, which is it's a public school, but it's a virtual public school, and they give you a curriculum. But I'll be honest, I mean, there is some you have to stick to certain stuff to do every day, but you can vary whether or not it's going to be, okay, today we're going to do this. Like today I want to go to Disneyland. Today I want to do this. We're going to, do it. You could do it on your time, and you can vary the days that you do it. It doesn't have to be exactly the same days. I do love, and I'm considering, because I'm going to test it out. It's the first time I'm working with it to see if it works with us. I was also considering, there's a school locally, a very new one that's just starting up, and I might be potentially joining in with them in the middle of the year, depending on how it goes. But they're putting together something, and this thing you see locally, like if you're in the Los Angeles area, the Kaumba group, they have a Kaumba school where they're very different. They run around with the kids, they go take them places and stuff. That's how they do it. But they're also having another community where we can all connect and get together, and the parents that are homeschooling can connect within that community and do things together. And so there's always something cool and wonderful about it. And like I said, if you are in the Los Angeles area, definitely message me, because all of that it's brand new, it's just starting up, and I'd be happy to connect you into it, because it's a very powerful, positive community that's doing this, and the parents that are all putting that together. That's just it, is to really be able to have the choice. Like we're hopping on a plane. We're going to Bali and tomorrow night. I mean, seriously, and our school starts on September 8th. I'll probably miss it. We'll probably be in the air the first day, but a lot of it is like it's replay. Like the one that I do with the virtual, they get online and they're on the computer live, kind of like we're doing Hangouts. So my kids will be doing Hangouts with other kids, and with teachers and stuff. And they have, I think, like one Hangout a week or something. And if you miss it, then you catch the replay. It's not, but which I think is kind of cool, because this is how Mommy's doing things. They're going to have their own little Hangouts. It's kind of neat. And then they also get together in person. They sent me this big, I can't carry it. They sent me this massive box of stuff with supplies and things that I'm going to be able to use during the school year for them, which is kind of cool. So I'm testing it out. I'm going to see if using connections is the way to go for me, or maybe doing something more like what you're doing, Joan. So it's an interesting process, but I love. It's just that I have choice, because I don't want to have to. If they were in a normal school, right, going in the same as school starting, I wouldn't be able to even be on this Hangout, because I would be at 8 o'clock in the morning. And that's what it is for me, my time Pacific. I'd have to have them at school. And that doesn't work with me. It doesn't work with me with what I want to do, and I have to schlep them and do all. We think it's normal, that's the normal thing to do, and just letting people know there are choices. We have choices in how we do stuff, and socialization, if you're that big word. I prefer to have my kids have socialization where they're meeting people. They're not just only hanging out with kids their own age all day. And teachers that are, often stressed, and I'd rather that they're around kids of a variety of different ages, and around, people and adults, and learning how to communicate with people in a lot of, in a variety of ways, not just this artificial situation where you're basically spending your days with whoever's your own age all the time, and there's something negative about that socialization and being trapped with the same kids all the time as well. I mean, that my situation, I was trapped. I was stuck in a school where I was trapped with this. It was a private school, and I was trapped with the same 13 girls. And I was, because I did read a lot of books, I had a very high vocabulary, I was bullied, severely bullied, because I sounded funny. And probably threatening to them because I got high grades. But I was just a kid that read a lot. And so it was very miserable, and a lot of things that I had to deal with as an adult, and a lot of traumas that I had in my life stemmed from what happened, being stuck with those same 13 kids and not having any option to be pulled away from it. A lot of the negative patterns in my head that I still, I still have to get up every morning, and if I don't dig into my mindset work, and it's possible I can crash and burn, and got to pull myself back up out of it. And thankfully, I have an incredible community and support, and I know my resources of where to go to pull out of where that dark, dark place that I can go into. I mean, just it is an extreme case. Just say it. I was my first suicide attempt. I was 10 years old. Okay, I was 10, and it was because of what was happening in the school where I was at. And because my family was not acknowledging it, refused to acknowledge it because it was a private school and they were head of the school board and it was just too much. I love my parents and they didn't know any better. They did not know. You know, they didn't know any better. Now people know better. Now people know better. Keep your eyes and ears peeled. So a lot of the kids that end up doing the connections, if you're overwhelmed with the idea of coming up with a curriculum and doing all of that, Connections is an option. Connections Academy, and it's full of a lot of kids that were bullied. It's full of really bright kids that need to move ahead at their own pace on things that they love. Kids that are bullied, and families that like me that want to have the freedom to just do things. Some of them, they're artists, or they're athletes. It's folks that really realize they want the freedom and they want a more loving connection and more of a better connection with the teachers too, oftentimes. But there, like I said, there's the other methodologies, which I'm so excited. I want to learn from what you're doing, Joan, and what CJ sounds like you're doing it more of like how Joan's going to be doing it, and I may be hopping in there with you. I just started in because there's another very successful person in our community and what we do. Multiple six-figure earner, and their kids are in Connections Academy, and that's the one she recommended to me. So I'm going to see if it's right for me and my kids, and if not, I'm going to adjust over because I have freedom and I have choices. So just saying, keep an eye on your kids. Listen to them. Listen to what's coming up from them, because honestly, you don't want them to go through what I went through. You really don't. You really don't. And I'm hoping it's a positive experience for those that do send your kids out, but you have options there. There are a lot of options of what's possible. Anyways, and we have a way, if you're wondering, well, how the heck can you do it? How could I got to work, how could I be a homeschooling mom? There's no accident that you're here with us. Click below on that button and we can show you how we do it, how we make that possible, how we make that actually possible. There's no accidents if you've stumbled across this, because we've got that other piece of the puzzle covered for you. And then it's just within us and our choices of how we want to do stuff. And everybody's different. Not all of us homeschool. Some do, some don't. We've got a wonderful woman in our community, Rhonda. They're traveling. They're living in Bali, and their daughter is going to a wonderful, very unique school in Bali that she's going to, and she goes off to the school. But for her, it's excitement. It's a new cultural thing. And they do what they do so that they can live in incredible places and have their daughter be connected to amazing different cultures and learn different ways of doing things. So bottom line is it's so important, I feel, to have choices. And that's, I do what I do. Anyways, I'm going to pass on over to Agnes. Is there anything you want to hop on? And then I'm going to come over to Fizza. Or actually, I'm going to go Agnes, DJ, Fizza. I'm just going across my panel here.
All right, I just want to add that I'm so happy to be here on this panel, and I agree with Valerie. It's nothing happened for accident, because now I found out that CJ and John also is homeschooling their kids, and it's so amazing, and I am getting so excited about this subject. And how, Valerie, you were talking about when you were going to the school, it brought back in my head some memories, and it was not so pleasant. And my earliest very bad memory when I was 6 years old, and how scared I was from one of my teachers. And I still remember, and it was 36 years ago. So, but the feeling is still here in my heart and in my head. And in high school, I was a pretty good student, and we had not so great teacher, or she went through on some very hard stuff, but she was taking out on us. So she said a couple of very mean things, and that's blocking me still in my life. And I have to work on that. Then yes, I am capable, and I am smart, and I have tools in my head, in my hand and in my head too now. And it makes such a big difference, because I don't want anybody tell to my son, then you will never succeed in your life because you are not smart enough. Nobody is allowed to do that. So that's why it's a big no for the school system. That was my experience, and it was not so pleasant. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Agnes. I'm going to go over to you, CJ.
Thank you so much, Valerie. I'm so grateful to be part of this amazing mom group. I mean, these ladies are phenomenal, and the support system that we have here, I mean, it's great. We can call each other whenever, and we're there for each other, and that's the best part about this. Val, if you could put the Connection Links Academy, the Connection Academy link in the chat, so that other moms can have access to that. Yep. Yeah, I was originally in the beginning going to do the Connections Academy just like Val, but I was, after discussing with other moms and other individuals in my community where I live, I found out that the Connections Academy really was not going to work for my Manuel. The structure that's involved in that really was not going to be good for him, because he needs to be free. He needs to be able to roam, and that's one of the reasons why I'm pulling him out of public school, because the school that's near our house that he is zoned for only allowed the children to go outside for recess on Fridays, and that was only if they were good and well behavior. So they were in classrooms 4 days a week from the time they went to school to the time they released from school, with only Friday having the only recess day. So in my eyes, how are you a child, and how are you socializing if you're in a classroom environment all day? Whereas my guys, I can go to the pool near my house, and they dump their toys out on the pool deck, and it doesn't bother them which child plays, and they socialize with every child, and they have a conversation with everyone. And then when we go out to dinner, everyone laughs at me because my boys are not shy at all. Like, if they want something, they'll ask the waitstaff, "Excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, sir, could I please have this?" And it's all within how you raise your child. They don't have to be in a classroom environment to have that confidence and to have that self-esteem to go and ask for things or to share things with people. It's all within how you bring them up and how you encourage them. And that was one of the things that we had to discuss as a family is, are we going to be giving them, or are we going to be taking away? And after evaluating everything, we discovered that we are actually going to be giving our boys so much more to their value of life, because we're going to be homeschooling them now. They're not going to be stressed out because of these amazing, horrible tests that are given. They're not going to be following a clock, and they're not going to be looking at every second of their life going, what do I have to do? I mean, this is the first school year that I'm actually relaxed. I mean, we start school here next Monday in Florida where I live, and by now I would literally be a basket case, running to this store, running to that store, not to mention the $500-600 supply bill that I would be having right now because I have 3 kids in school. I mean, it's just, this is the first year that I've actually gone, I'm free. And to know that I'm going to control what my kids learn and the pace in which they learn. And if we want to go hang upside down in a park somewhere and practice our ABCs, then I can do that with them. Or if I want to take them to the beach and have them practice writing in the sand with a stick to work on their grammar and their structure of how they're going to write. I mean, this is all things. Math, write a math equation in the sand, and not only do you have science, but now you have math, and now you have grammar, and it's all incorporated into one thing. So it's all about thinking outside the box, and that's what a lot of parents don't realize with homeschooling is that it's yes, there is a curriculum. Yes, you have things you have to follow, but it's free. You do what your family, as Joan says, you do what your family tells you is the best to do that day. And the flexibility, if you have something that you want to do on that day, but something else comes up, oh, okay, we'll deal with that tomorrow, but we're going to go do this today because this is what you want to do. And in my eyes, that's really how kids learn. They don't learn by you forcing or jamming something in them that they don't want to do, because if kids don't want to do it, they're going to block it out no matter what. So do it when they want to do it, not when they're told to do it. And that's and also let's talk about food. I mean, food, you can control what they eat, you can monitor what they eat, you have a huge influence on the no high fructose corn syrups, the no more red, yellow dyes that are given to them in these public school foods. And I mean, this is the first time my son, my oldest is going to be 9, and this is the first time since he was 4 that he's on no medication at all. I have him completely 100% free from all medications for his ADD and his ADHD. And I have people coming up to me asking me what I've done, what medications I've changed. And I look at them and I say, none. He's on no more medications. And they're like, what do you mean?
He never needed that. We probably needed something else.
Yes. And I'm like, I've changed his diet. I've removed the medication. I've removed the stress from his life. And now we don't need them. And he just went for an evaluation last week. And his therapist was like, where's your child gone? This is not the child I've been seeing for the last 5 years. He's so calm. And I'm like, because we pulled him. We've changed our lives. And so I have a whole blog written about it. I went crazy. But no, it's just the biggest thing is don't follow structure. Be free. Listen to your children. Watch your children. And most importantly, have fun. We're stay-at-home moms for a reason. We choose homeschooling for a reason. And in my eyes, they're more socialized being homeschooled than they were ever going to be in a public environment, because in a public school, you're in the same classroom with the same age. So how are you going to socialize when, let's say, half of your classroom is having speech disorders or other items or are shy, and you're subject to that every single day, and eventually your child may pick up on those habits, and it's not their fault. It's just that's the environment that they're in.
Exactly, and yeah, and that's the thing too, because I mean, Jaden has a little bit of a pronunciation thing with the way he speaks, and he would have been in a class all the time with other kids that have the same issue. And frankly, that's not going to be the best way to learn. And I mean, I do have him now, with Connections, they do offer that assistance where, and there's other, by the way, Kaumba does it as well too. They have the ability to connect with that. Just anybody who happens to be in the local area. It's just one of the it's a brand new school that's come out, very unique, where seriously, they would be doing things like doing math in the sand. I mean, seriously. So, yeah, he's going to get more of the one-on, which is really the one-on-one assistance, with certain pronunciation issues and stuff like that. But that the rest of it is, and people think if your child happens to have a speech issue, mine, I mean, he's at the park and he's at the playground, and he actually runs up to the other kids and he might start a conversation before any of the other ones do.
I love my guys.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and so that might not happen if he was completely isolated all the time with kids that have a similar, issue, and being able to learn a little bit more from other kids. So, anyways, he's actually in a better situation, I feel too. I'm just so excited to know that you guys are doing this too. We're all doing this together. It's kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to pass it on over to Fizza. You're up, hon.
Wow, what a great discussion, and what a sharing of your experiences and your ideas. Now, I'm going to suggest you 2 websites, that is StudyLedder and iExcel. That is iExcel.com, because when I was doing a homeschooling with my daughter, so I just registered her on these 2 websites, and it's a great help. And I took the curriculum from our Australian education system. They have a proper curriculum for kids who are doing homeschooling. So when my daughter was doing a homeschooling, she finished 2 classes, like kindy and year 1, in just 1 year, because she was very smart, and she is very smart, but we are now living in a small town and we don't have many friends here. So that's why me and my husband decide to send her to a school. But to be very honest, I'm not happy at all in sending her to school, because her level is much more higher than the rest of the kids, because she already had homeschooling and she know much more than what public school children knows. Because me and my husband, we both are working very hard on her because of only child. So we want her to be very smart and very confident. And that really helped her in educating children as well in her class, because teachers she is a role model in her class, and it's a great blessing for me that my daughter is a role model in her whole school, because she is the one who participated very confidently in each and every functions, every event in a school. And this is, I guess, this is just because of homeschooling, that her base was very strong, and she got a very encouraging nature, because me and my husband, we are always there for her whenever she needs us. Because when I was a child, because I have five siblings, so I know whenever I need my mom, so because she was very busy with other five kids and my grandparents and every uncle and aunt, so she did not have a time for us. So so many times I feel like, oh my goodness, my mom have no time for me. But no, we learn from our experiences. So when I was in a school, I got some problem with my geography teacher. That's why I hate geography. I'm sorry, not hate. I don't like geography, and I'm very poor in that subject because of my teacher. Because I actively participated in that geography subject, but due to some reason, there was a favoritism in our class, and I was like, no, not acceptable, because I feel like she is doing injustice with other students. I am on top 4 students, but I don't like when she discriminate between 4 students above average and the below average kids. So I decide not to take more interest in that subject. And I always get only the passing marks in that subject. That's why my geography is very poor. And when anyone asks where is this XYZ country, I said, I'm sorry, this is not my subject. He said, why? I said, no. Because, and that's remind me of my teacher, that is in back of my mind, in my subconscious mind, that what had happened in geography subject with me, with my teacher. So I don't want this thing with my daughter. So that's why I'm always there for her. Whenever last few months back, she got some problem in her school. So I took a very serious action, and I talked to the teachers and then principal that please do something. If you will not take any action, then let me know. Because my daughter is more than happy in homeschooling rather than in public school. And I told her why I am having a public school, because we don't have any friends and family here. It's a very small town. When we were in Sydney, I was doing a homeschooling because of a multicultural society. She learned so many cultures, so many festivals. She knows so many names of different foods and festivals. So that was a very plus point. And now we are in Burke, and it's not very highly populated area and no more places for entertainment. So that's why we decide to send her, just to gain confidence. And she is gaining confidence. And the plus thing is, from 9 to 3, I try to finish all my work, and at 3 o'clock, and I started working just for the part-time because I'm getting bored at home because we don't have any friends here. So I started part-time job, but at 3 o'clock I am in front of a school gate, and I can easily feel the confidence when she look at me, and that mom is there to pick me up. Mom is there for me. So that's a great pleasure, and this is really pleasure for me and for my daughter too, that I'm always there for her. So yes, you people are doing the very excellent thing, and your decision to do homeschooling is the great decision, because to have a strong foundation for the bright future, this is very important. If the foundation is strong, your child will not need anyone, because once he or she gain the confidence, and command on the subjects, then it will be very grateful and very helpful for him or her in future. So that's why I'm really proud of my daughter, because she gained confidence on all the subjects, and I keep on helping her. And still she is doing IXL.com website, and she is registered there, and she's doing different tests over there. And she got online, once your child complete one phase or one test, then they send email the medal or something for that, just to reward the child. That encourage the confidence. So if you get a chance, just have a look of that website, study ladder and IXL.com. That's a very excellent website, and which really improve the confidence, vocabulary, and the knowledge of your child. So this is what I can say. But if you get a chance, send your child to school so he or she will know how to tackle with other kids, and then she or he will realize how important and how unique your child is. Because when they start mingling with other children, then you can easily differentiate. Like being all the time with kids, we always, sometimes what I did, I underestimate my daughter. Oh, come on, she don't know this, she don't know that, da 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 da. And then when she started going to school and she participated in all the activities, and all the staff members and all the teachers encourage her, so I feel very proud that why should I underestimate her? Because she stepped out of the comfort zone, and I send her. She is away for 6 hours from me. Then I feel her importance.
Yeah.
That how important she is for me.
It depends on where they're going. It honestly depends on where they're going.
Yes. Yes.
Because I mean, because of my experiences, I have about this much trust.
Yes.
Environment that my child would be in the public school system and even the private school system. Because I went through living hell. And if there's anything that I learned, because I think everything happens for a reason, it's for me to know there is no way that you could convince me on this planet that I'm going to, in this, I mean, it would have to be a very, very unique school. It would have to be a school where I know that their perspectives are exactly like mine. That the way that they communicate with their kids is a way that is empowering, a way that is not diminishing, that they don't use punishment, because I don't believe in it. I don't believe it works. I think it actually creates rebellion. And, there's a very few places that get that. And as far as socialization, I'm just going to have to completely disagree with you and feel that even in a small town, it is possible. There may be other people that are homeschooling. If you look, you might be surprised as to what's there. But even just running around on your own, I don't have a lot of friends locally here, because I connect in a heart-to-heart basis with a lot of the community that I have learned through this. And honestly, I'm about to start to connect. I know there's a massive homeschool community in my area, but even then, it's like there's a lot of mommy groups too, and I wouldn't take my kids. I started going to the mommy groups, and I stopped because I didn't like the way I heard the parents talking to their kids. I didn't like the way that I saw they communicated with each other, and that they were living in a place of the conversation was about negativity. The conversation was not uplifting. The conversation was not about how to empower each other and how we can help each other and how we can make the world a better place. The conversation was one of mostly complaint, really, and gossip. And that was the mommy groups that I just kept coming across, and I finally just stopped. I said, I'm just going to do this on my own. And I have now on my own, going to the places that I love, I have bumped into some wonderful moms, some wonderful parents. Some people that I've from my life I have resonated in. That's the whole thing with the law of attraction too. You're going to attract to yourself the right people, and I attracted, the meditating, vegan, organic. I mean, I learned stuff I didn't even know. I was like, I realizing, oh my goodness, wheat. If you're an organic mama, one of the worst things you can give your kid is wheat that's not organic. I didn't know. I bumped into a mom at a park, at a plate, on the beach. And we developed a friendship, and I learned a lot. I mean, and my kids communicating with her kids, And that's just it. Is that there's so much more out there that a lot of people don't realize. We've bought into this pill, into this thing saying that socialization requires school, and it doesn't. It's the wrong kind of. For me, it's the wrong kind of socialization. I don't want my kids learning, and plus the kids that are there, I don't know how their parents are with them. I don't know how those parents communicate to those kids, so those kids are going to communicate to my kids in the way that their parents are communicating with them. So they're going to learn things about being mean and bullying and doing all this kinds of stuff. Any child that is bullied in their home, unfortunately, is going to bully another child. It's just the way it goes. Or if they don't bully another child, they go internal and they're like this, and that's not a good environment to be around either. And there's a lot of that, or the kids are just completely neglected because the parents are just they go to school, they come home, and it's all about, okay, eat your dinner, and then do this and take your bath and go to bed, and there's nothing beyond that. They don't get the. Oftentimes, in a lot of, now it's not saying that's true with everybody, but there's enough of it that I don't want my kids around it because, I don't want them to go through the experiences I did. I understand why. It's because of these various things that I was around kids that did what they did, and what ended up happening to me as a result. And I withdrew into my books because my parents weren't able to hear it, what was going on, and. So, but it's, there's so many other options out there now. That's just what I'm just saying, is there's so many options. So, and there are some good schools. I know Sarita has found a wonderful school that she takes her daughter to, but because of the freedom that we have, she actually can go in and be there with her daughter. And but she knows, she researched, she found something that was very unique. That's just it. It's like you have to, a lot of folks, they go with what the public school system is, and they go with whatever your district has and what's good for you and your kids, and it's not always the best thing. And and if your finances are such at the moment where I got to send my kid to the local public school and that's that, I was just letting you know you do have options. You do have options, and there's ways to transition out of whatever your situation is. It may not happen like that, but I'd rather, for somebody, because I know people that have, even with daycare, they started off, Gabrielle, she started off where her little one was in daycare a lot. But because of the success that she's had in the business of what we do, that's been, it's dwindled down, so that it's, that she can be there with her child. She doesn't have to be doing a job all the time. I think she's pretty much out. Or if not, very, very, very soon. So I don't know. She'll let you know next time we come on what's going on with her. But I've watched her because she's fairly new at this and become very successful very fast. That what's possible, what can happen within 6 months, what can happen within a year is pretty crazy. And for me, I owe it to my kids. I owe it to my kids, those little beings that I worked so hard as well to have as well, CJ. And I get to that we need to have those choices. I was just opened up now. I'm just so excited to learn what you guys are doing because it's completely different. Because I was with connections, which may or may not be right for me because it made me too structured.
Yeah, I want to jump on, Val, and just say I totally agree. With what you're saying, and that everybody has options, and you do what's best for your family. You do what feels right for you. Do what feels right, with your kids and the options that you have. And if you and yes, I do believe that the public school system has put you in this. This is what you're gonna have to do at this time and this time and this time, and that's just not right for your kid. And you don't have to follow that system because it's been implanted in our brains for such a long time. And then also, I think that with society, it's been like it's that game of keeping up with the Joneses or doing what everybody else does. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to play that game with everybody. You don't have to compete with everybody. And that's also what I've seen with the system and with society as well, is that you do what's best for your family and you do what's best for you. And there's so many options out there. You don't have to follow a plan. You have your own plan. Your family has your own goals. God, the universe, source, you have your own message to carry out to the world, and you do what you need to do. And there's so many different things. So I just wanted to say that, and thank you all so much for letting me come and hang out. And such an awesome hangout for everybody, and great info from all across the board. I love it. I love the energy, and the kids that you're raising are just going to be incredible.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah,
Bye.
put the links to some of the stuff you've been using in the chat below.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to share. I just found a very nice thing, and I think it's you all will love it. The difference between school and life. In school, you are taught a lesson and then giving a test. In life, you are giving a test that teaches you a lesson. How it sounds?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. That's great. And Fizza, for you, it might be perfect for your daughter that it's, you know, for her at this moment, if you're listening to your instinct, that's where she needs to be, around those other kids. I mean, and it depends on the school. You might have a really good school situation for her, and that might be perfect for her right now. Just saying for everybody, just be open and listen to your kids. Be aware of what's coming, what they bring into you. You know, just you know, that's the thing, because what might be good now might need to change in the future, and you know, listening to what, you know, where your kids at and what's working for them, and maybe even just the resources in the area. You know, like I said, I mean, it's possible a new school could pop up out of nowhere that be something that even is parent participation. You know, that, you know, like this school that I'm looking into right now in the future for them, it's parent participation, and you're going off and doing things. It may not be right for me, I don't know, we'll find out. But, you know, no matter what, there's communities and there's stuff, and there's always things created, and you might be the one to create something yourself as well within your community. That's the other thing. You might be the one that pulls together people in your community and creates something really powerful for the homeschooling, for everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's always, there's so many options. So with that, let me just quickly check. CJ, can you look in the chat on the page when you're hosting it to see if you have any comments from folks in there? I just realized we didn't do that, and then we're going to hop off and close out, because I do have a schedule. I got to get ourselves on an airplane tomorrow night, so you can get a lot of stuff done. Whoops, CJ, I think you're muted. Can you unmute yourself, hon? There you go. Nope, still muted.
There is no comments.
Okay, cool.
That's going back and forth. But also, what I wanted to let you guys know is that I was able through. Sorry, the boys are having a little bit of a discussion in the background. We don't call it arguing; we call it a discussion. No, through the research that I've done in my local area here where I live in Hernando County, I was able to find a group of homeschool parents, and what they do is once a month they meet at a church for mom and dads, and then once a month they meet at one of the local coffee shops just for moms. So twice a month they meet up and they post on their website where they're going to be, what church they're going to be at, what time for the mom and dad meets, and then they post on their website what coffee house, what day and time for just the mom meets. So there are
cool. Yes, you never know what you're going to see. Yeah, just look for meetups. You'd be amazed at what you'll find when you go in there. There's so much stuff, and it's easy to actually even create one, to create a meetup yourself and gather like-minded people, because people are always searching. They're looking, and they go by the keyword, the term, whatever you call it. You know, that they can find you. You know, so. It's even specifics, like, you know, different parents that have a very specific mindset. I mean, you can find parents with that same mindset. It can be done. So, or create one yourself, like I said. So, anyways, big hugs to you. Excited for everybody here that, you know, you're here with us. And if you, like I said, if you're still watching, there's an obvious reason why you want to be connected with us. Just click on that link below, and you'll be able to connect in, see what the system that we're using, but also really more connect with us as well. But feel free to reach out to any of us, whoever brought you to this hangout, and we will all see you. Here's the thing about next week. Next week I'm going to be in Bali, and I'm not sure the timing. So just stay tuned to whoever brought you to this hangout, and we'll see. It'll be 11 o'clock at night for me. I'm not sure if we have group activity that I might be connected with, because I'm going to be a part of a mastermind at that point next week, and so we'll see what happens in terms of the timing. Hopefully we'll still be able to do it at this time. If not, just like I said, stay tuned. We'll put it on the page when we have a sense of if the time is going to change. And but when I'm on next week, it'll be from Bali. So big hugs to you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And we'll see.
Safe travels, my love.
Thanks.